When my daughter was born, I had this huge dream to write a story that would be read to her one day. I envisioned it being a children's book about a princess who didn't need rescuing. I wanted to be an athlete. I would have loved to compete for Team GB or Team Scotland. They can see it so clearly. It's right there in front of them, like it's within touching distance. But somehow, they never actually get around to doing it. Once you do this, you will not only have clarity, but you also have something that is achievable. Here's the thing. Dreams are great. Dreams get us excited about the future, and they motivate us to be better versions of ourselves. But dreams aren't tangible. Dreams aren't actionable. Dreams don't put food on the table. Dreams don't pay the bills. Dreams don't put a roof over your head. If you want to get things done, you need to have goals. And I think this is because they have what I call a fuzzy goal. What is the goal that you've been putting off for so long that you're finally going to go after? Maybe it's writing a book or starting a YouTube channel or running a marathon or getting a black belt in karate. Whatever it is, I want you to set a deadline for it. When I decided to start a YouTube channel, I said to myself, I'm going to start posting videos, and I gave myself a deadline of 3 months to do it. This made it a goal instead of a fuzzy dream. And when you set yourself a deadline, you should treat it exactly like you would treat a client or a customer's deadline. So that means you need to put a block on your calendar where you're going to work towards your goal. You need to protect that time. You need to stick to your deadlines. You need to deliver on your promises. Now, this isn't something that you consciously choose to do, but it's something that I've found myself doing too. You need to stay focused. You need to achieve your goal. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go out and achieve every goal that you set, but I am saying that you need to try your best to achieve those goals. You need to try your best to meet those deadlines. The reason I'm focusing so much on deadlines is because the majority of people never set deadlines. And the lack of a deadline is what allows fuzzy goals to exist. And that is setting goals without a deadline. You won't be experienced. But if you experience the success of achieving small goals and meeting deadlines, then it will give you confidence to achieve bigger goals with bigger deadlines. You'll find yourself doing more and more of it. And this will become part of your DNA. This is how you become the kind of person that achieves their goals. And yes, there are people who achieve success without planning, but they're the exception, not the rule. Most successful people that I know plan their goals, and they plan their actions towards achieving those goals. And guess what? They also have dreams, but their dreams don't get in the way of their goals. Sadly, I can barely run for the bus, and sometimes I don't even make it. But my point is that having a dream doesn't mean that you're going to achieve that dream. Sometimes your dreams are just dreams, like daydreams that you have while sat at your desk at work. But here's the thing. Having a dream doesn't require any effort, but achieving a dream does. A fantasy adventure that would take her on an epic journey, or maybe even a collection of spooky stories for her to enjoy when she was tucked up in bed. But here I am over 25 years later, and all I've written is a blog post about how to cook chicken fajitas. So why is that? Why do we have these big dreams for our kids only to forget about them ourselves? And how can we make sure that we actually achieve those dreams? Let's talk about it. I remember watching the Olympics back when I was a kid and dreaming that one day I'd be competing at those games myself. A lot of people have this idea in their head about what they want to do with their life, whether it's travel, the world, start a business, get married, have kids. You probably have a vague idea of the things you want to do with your life. But if you haven't set a deadline for those things, then it becomes a fuzzy goal. And goals that don't have deadlines aren't really goals at all. They're more of a wish or a hope. And the problem with fuzzy goals is that you can keep putting them off until eventually you realize that you wasted a lot of time and you know closer to achieving those goals than when you first started. But the thing is, it's not always obvious that you're doing this. It can feel like you're making progress. For example, let's say that you want to get fit. You go to the gym once or twice, and then you go a few weeks without going. And before you know it, you've lost motivation. You've lost your momentum, and you've gone back to how you were before. Now, the way that you stop fuzzy goals from bleeding into your life and taking over is by creating clear goals that have a deadline. So here's my challenge to you. What are you going to do this year that you haven't done before? And yes, some things will come up that will stop you from being able to meet your deadline, but you need to be resolute. You will find it hard to achieve your goal initially because you know what you're redoing. If you want to learn how to improve your productivity, then check out the video that's on screen now. Take care.